my channel. Today, in this video, we're going to be interviewing a great game entrepreneur called Sami Chlagou. And he has made many games, and one of his latest ones, and the most booming in the game industry, is called Cross the Ages. It's basically the magic side and the technology side fighting off, and actually, why don't we discover more about it in this interview? So, once again, let's start.
So I hire the best writer in science fiction in Europe to work with me for 10 years and to create a whole saga. We're building video game for more than a decade, and we more than 55 video games on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. In less than 1 year, we sold more than 30 million cards digital, and 3 billion are already NFT.
So here guys, we have the legendary entrepreneur, gaming entrepreneur, Mr. Sami Chlagou right in front of us. So why don't we ask him some questions about his life in the game development industry and what inspired him to make this extraordinary game, Cross the Ages. So, hello Mr. Sami Chlagou and welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show.
I'm happy to be with you. I'm a very fan of your job. I've seen many videos, and I'm really happy to be with you today.
Perfect. All right. So, what inspired you to start becoming an entrepreneur into the gaming industry? What inspired you?
It's a good question. I started my gaming experience 13 years ago, and the thing is, when I started, it wasn't. How can I say that? I do that in different steps. The first step for me, I start on the audiovisual sector. So starting, with a movie. I made that for more than 8 years, and then I found a very great parallel between the gaming industry and the video industry. It's exactly the same process. So it was really fun, to understand that I just have, to cross a step to start the gaming experience. And I start not as a producer of gaming, but just as a retailer. So I start to sell video game, buying some game and sell that. And step by step, I become owner of my own company, my own studio, my first studio. Today we are owner of 7 studio of gaming, and we develop many games for Nintendo, Sony, Xbox.
Wow, sounds really really something. And what inspired you to make this game? What inspired you to make this great game called Cross the Ages?
In fact, Cross the Ages is much more than a game. We start to build a universe. For me, the idea is to create something like Harry Potter or Game of Thrones. How? It's starting with a book. If you want to create something sustainable, you need to create a story sustainable. You need to create the whole universe. So I hire the best writer in science fiction in Europe to work with me for 10 years and to create a whole saga, 7 books. The first book was released in 2021, the second in 2022. They already made 1 million downloads, so translate in 7 languages.
Oh, wow.
Here it's going to be released in physical, so you will have a physical book, the number 1 in April and number 2 in December. And the idea was, when you created your universe, you can create not one game, but you can create several games. And for example, if you take the example of Harry Potter, the success of Harry Potter was not for the first game or the second game. If you check the last game, Hogwarts Legacy, 20 years after, it's the biggest success for the saga of Harry Potter. It's the same thing for Cross the Ages. You start with a first experience. I love the chess. I love the card gaming. It's a passion for me. And it's the best use case for the NFT. It's the best use case, to use and to have some asset that you're going to be owner. And I really believe that it's a good start to have a very solid community, a solid group of people really believe on this project and start, to have a good experience of gaming and of fun.
Wow. So you're saying that your game, more than a game, is basically trying to, if I understand well, it's basically trying to make a series of books, or in Harry Potter, like you were saying.
Yeah. So now, please continue.
And basically each chapter of your book/game it's supposed to be a whole new experience. That's what you're saying? Am I correct?
Yes, all the game are connected to the book, so you can see like what's gonna happen step by step.
Oh,
So
so you
the new cards are linked to the new book. So all the new collection are linked to the new book, to the new character will come. So you will have and continue that, and you have an interoperability of all the assets. So all the assets you have on the TCG, you can use it on the second game, and the third game you can use all the cards everywhere.
wow. So it's
Game
basically
of project.
it's basically like you have your game, and at the same time you already wrote like this tiny story for it. So it's basically like a game of like you're saying Harry Potter, or like I don't know, some anime game maybe. You're taking that story and then you're building a game upon it, except this time it's you who's building the story and the game.
True. For example, the new game, the second game will be released in November, will be completely different. The first game is a trading card game, so a mix of chess, Go, and strategy. The second game is a Fortnite-like, but it's going to be exactly the same asset that you used to have on the first game. That means that all the first player will have like the asset and they can use it, in the second game. So you have an interoperability for those games, and the next game will be different also. The idea for us is to create a multiple gaming experience for everyone.
So I know it took a lot of time in this question, but I feel it's just really extraordinary and very unique the way that you actually deal with this in the games, because I feel like this is really extraordinary and nobody else does this, I think. But so as you were saying, so each chapter is like a different kind of game. So like in the first one it's a card game, then the other one is like an FPS and like that.
So
Or
imagine that in every book you have 23 chapters, so it's like 400 page to 600 page. It's a part of the story, and if you want to understand the universe, you have to start with the first story and then you continue. So it's exactly like Harry Potter or another book, and the game are completely different because they are all based in a different gameplay. So the first one is a strategy and TCG. The second game is like a shooter. The next one will be like a MOBA, and like it's completely different gameplay every time. So you have like multiple kind of experience on the game.
well, so
The thing
yeah, continue.
is, it's like we try to use a maximum the lore and like the story to try to create an immersive experience. So you when you start to play to the game, you feel that you are inside the game with the card, with the character, with the universe, with the graphic Bible. Everything you will have around you will push you, to feel that you are inside the universe across the ages.
Wow. Okay, so it's basically like you have multiple games which are chapters of the whole story across the ages, and it's basically in each chapter in each game you have a whole new experience. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. And can you explain to us what is the inspiration of making this game? What inspired you to make this game? What inspired you to start this? Do this.
Question. The topic of Cross the Ages is a human deserve to live. All the topic is talking about humanity and what we're doing in Earth today. What is the topic of our life? I believe that we can, live together if we accept who we are and if we accept the others. All the concept of Cross the Ages is to change the point of view of the camera. So you're gonna see like first the account, and then you're gonna see the Mantris, and you're gonna see the Rift people, and every time you're gonna see like a new kind of civilization, but like they're starting from the same civilization at the beginning. I think that this project is here, to add more value on tolerance and like to giving, a social, way, to live better together. All the topic of Cross the Ages is a real deep experience, and human experience to share with everyone. I'll give you a quick example. In December, we organized our first event called the Heroes Legacy. 2,000 people come on the 2 day. It's a physical event. It was completely insane. And people, when they come, they have like the pseudo and say, oh, you are the Devil Chicken. Oh, you are this one. Oh, you are Mr. Shooks. And like
Right.
they didn't even the name, but like they spend 2-3 days together, and like they all come, for different city, different country, and to share together the experience and the love they have, for the project. And I think that only that, it's like a huge success because you created a link for people. You created something with no value, nothing, you can't pay that. This kind of experience, you can't pay it. And what we want is to give like hope, for the next generation, to say that we can do so many things, that if we are together and with a community, a strong community, you can do whatever you want. And to build that, it took time. However, we have all the time, to build that. So this is my aspiration, and why we're doing that is to try, to give back, the chance that we have today, and to give to the opportunity and to next generation to know each other.
Okay. Right. And can you explain to us the story? Well, yeah, what is the story of the game? Yeah.
The story of the book, we're talking about like a guy, his name is Adai. And he's the last man of his civilization. He's living in a planet called the Blue Planet. We don't know if it's Earth or somewhere else. But what we know, it's his generation is the last generation of human being. No one will be here tomorrow. Why? Because the woman can't have child anymore. We don't have like any kind of fruits, and all the rain become acid. And on top of that, they all lose all hope. They're spending time in front of a mirror, and like they see themselves on the mirror every day to see what they can be in another life. So they spend all the time, to look into the mirror and say, okay, we're gonna die, but I want to live, in front of this mirror. And I think very interesting is him. He get this fire on him to say, okay, I don't want to die like that. I want to survive. I want to live, and I want to find a way, to don't, die like that with all the human people. So he will try, one surgery to being able, to have like an AI, on the brain, to being able, to solve any kind of problem. Usually, this kind of operation is always fail, but for him, it's gonna work, and it's gonna have like two effects. One of the effects is gonna be like a man and machine, so you don't have to eat anymore. And the thing is, you're gonna be able, to solve any kind of problem. So with the advanced technology they have, they're gonna be able, to took people from the Blue Planet to another place called Arterium. 5,000 people will be like an experience, like to going from the planet to another planet. However, the cryogenization, that means that they're gonna be like frozen. They're gonna be the only way, to bring people from one part to another part, because like the travel will be so long. And then, on the travel, something gonna happen, and the ship
Right.
actually will be affected, by something very strange. Many of them, like almost like 30% of them will die. 30% of them will gonna be disappear, from the ship, and only like a small people, like 1,500, will be here to the Arterium. But it's gonna happen something very strange when they're gonna wake up. They're all gonna forget everything. The name of brother, sister, if they are married, whatever the situation, they will reboot from the beginning. They will completely forget who they are, and they will have not amnesia, but like total amnesia. They will completely forget. So he will try, to learn them everything. He will learn them, the name of the color, the name of what they have around them. And the thing pretty interesting is on this planet, Arterium, everything is different. The gravity is different, how they feel is different. And if you have some people, on the Blue Planet, they were able, to have some magnetism. They're gonna be like able to heal very.
So it's basically like this Artesian planet that they just came on is like a magical planet where now they can all develop in from what I understood, develop in like some very special way in like races.
In fact, they have 3 moons, 1 sun, and 1 supernova, and like the power of the moon gonna change and affect all the human in a way very different. They're all gonna be able, to feel the prana. The prana is the energy that you have on Earth, and they're gonna be able to develop that and to change completely, the mechanic of how humans are. For example, people will start to use fire, wind, earth, and so many things. It's possible if we are in different positions. We are on Earth with some rules, some physical rules.
Right.
Because somewhere it can be different. And this is how the story will start. 200 years after that, maybe third or fourth generation after, people will see that Adai is not become older, so they will try to kill him, and then Adai will
Yeah.
disappear. 200 years after, the kids
Okay.
will die, and then something gonna happen. He gonna see what's happened.
So
They are like a kingdom of fantasy with magical, and a kingdom with AI.
technology, yeah. So basically, from what I understood, because I was also watching a lot from what you do, and I was also researching, and from what I understood is, so you just made me know more about it, because from what I understood is like this stone prana, the power, and then there was like this all of these sources of magic, and then at one point it was like technology versus magic. And yeah, it feels really interesting to go in that kind of theme. But right, talking about that, can you tell us more about how the game basically works? How do you play the game?
So the game is a free to play. So it's a game designed for the Web 2. So for everyone, for the community of gamer, you can download it on App Store and Play Store. And how it works, it's exactly a game turn by turn, like you played Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone, Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yeah.
and we try to create a new kind of concept. So you have a half of the dashboard of the chest. So it's not 8 by 8, but 4 by 4. So you have 16 Ks where you have some cards, and every turn you're gonna put cards. The cards have different power and different elements. So it can be fire, water, air, and then you can create a combination. The goal of the game is to being able to flip the card of your opponent and to win the possession of the card. You're not gonna win the card of your opponent, but when you win, you're gonna win some trisol, so an internal money, and also some chest with some card inside. The goal is to push people, to be owner of the card. You have a limit of points. That means it's not a pay to win, so you don't have, to spend so much money. And the idea is to push people, to make some count, because you have to make addition, subtraction, and like always to think about like the next step and how you have to do. It's really deep. More you play to the game and more you see like the different layer. At the beginning, it seems to be very easy, but more you
Sounds
play,
really
more you
interesting. Yeah, I'm going to be actually trying to play that game for once, and I'm just very excited because from hearing it from you, I really see it has a lot of potential, right? And you started like for how long time have you been doing Cross the Ages? Like
we start in 2020.
wow,
Cross the
like
Ages.
only 3 years. It's been 4 years only.
So
Wow.
it's 3 years, you're right, because like we start end of 2020. So we are like spending more than 3 years across the ages. The game started development in 2022, so we have like 2 years on that. And we start the development 1 year and a half, so 18 months ago for the second game called
Wow.
Arise.
Okay. And you're planning to make seven, and here I mean, right at the second, and it's only been like 3 years, and wow, I saw a small playthrough, and I really see the potential. It looks very nice, and yeah, all right.
Thank you.
And
So the thing interesting is we come from the Web 2 industry. So we're building video game for more than a decade, and we more than 55 video game on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox. So we have a real value, to how build the game, how create the game with several studio. I think very interesting
right, so
is
it's like really accessible to everyone. It's you're really trying to make it as like free to everyone, free of access. Right. Okay.
and
And
you. Yes, please go ahead.
And can you tell us why did you decide to make 7 chapters? Because we can see in Harry Potter 7 movies, and a lot of things nowadays we see seven everywhere. Why 7?
The seven is pretty special. If you think about it, why Harry Potter, why Game of Thrones, they have like 7 chapter. It's like the music. There are 7 tone, on the music, and if you want to understand the full way, you have to listen everything at the end. So you will start, with an evolution. So first of all, you will have a presentation, and then you will see like the case of, and then you will continue until the end. And after the end, you will have like the close of the melody. So it's why we're using the 7, because what we want is to create it like a way, to make some feeling for everyone to understand the topic and the goal across the ages. But you can't understand it in one book or 2 books. It took time, to assimilate all the concepts to at the end understand why we're doing everything and why we're doing that.
And 7 chapters, is it like specifically 7 chapters? Because I understood what you meant, like you have to really like stick in for all the way to 7th. But is there a reason why it's 7 and not 6 or 8?
Yes, because as I explained, all the book, the different book, the structure of the book was created before starting everything. So we didn't make a book and say, oh, let's make a second, oh, let's make a third. Everything was designed from the beginning to say, okay, book number one will be that, book number two will be that, the three will be that, until the end. And then when you're gonna read the book number six, you're gonna understand the book number one and say, holy, oh wow, it was that from the beginning, They playing that from the beginning, and everything was playing from the beginning to be seven and not six and not five, because you will understand it at the end why seven and not six, but I can't spoil now.
Okay, perfect. So I guess I'll have to find out when I play the game. Okay. Um, Thank you very much about that. And I mean, I've heard, like you also mentioning in this interview right now, that you are working with NFTs and card trading. Can we know more about why NFTs and how can it be so useful?
Sure. So first of all, I'm a huge geek. So I'm a huge collector of Pokemon and Magic cards. I start when I was 9. When I was 9, I start, collect the cards, and I start very quickly, when I was maybe 14, to buy box of Pokemon and keep them sealed. I do that when box used to cost maybe $100. I start to sell those box in 2020 when the box was costing 300,000 each. And this is exactly how, I start to develop across the ages. The 2 million that I put on the beginning was just money that I get from boxes, Magic, and Pokemon that I sold when I start. I'm a huge fan of cards, and I start 30 years ago now to have like this very passion, for the card gaming. Why, NFT? When in 2020 I discovered, 2019 I discovered, the real impact of how the NFT can change all the ecosystem. I found that it's gonna be like more than an opportunity. Our goal was not, to come and like to create a product to get money and to get out. Our intention from the beginning was to create something sustainable. And this is how, we start to develop and to create some digital assets. You're gonna be owner of asset, but you can transform your asset from digital to NFT, and you can create that, and you can transform your NFT into physical card that you receive at home. It's gonna be always your choice.
Oh, so it's
And
like some sort of like, if you wanted to, so it, yeah, so it's basically using NFTs because, well, the cards in the game, they're digital, and then if you want, you can just like give out your card. If no, like give like show like you have the card, and then you can like trade it to get like the physical card. That's what you're saying.
almost, if you complete the collection, if you have 145 cards of the collection, you can burn your NFT. So first is digital, and then you have to transform that. You can
Yeah.
transform your card into NFT, but
Oh,
it's
so
not
like
really.
when you collected all of the cards,
Yeah,
they're like you said 100. How many?
145.
145. Then you can do like a process where you can transform those into real cards that then you can get.
Physical with a number, specific number of your collection. And the thing very interesting is
You can trade it, I'm assuming.
you can create that, you can sell it, you
Okay.
can do whatever you want. It's your card. And the thing very interesting is in less than 1 year, we sold more than 30 million cards digital,
Wow.
and 3 million are already NFT. Some cards, some assets today cost more than 150,000. When we start, like in June 2020, 2022, when we sold the first asset as a pre-sale, the pack made between X3 to X300 for all of them. And it's very interesting to see that in the bear market, there are one thing very interesting. If you want to have something as NFT, the utility is the first use case. You need to have something with a real utility, not to say I have this NFT for fun, or like because it's nice, or because of hype, or because whatever you want. It's just because utility. Utility is the key of the success.
Right, because you
And
can
this
do
is
whatever you want. It's your, I mean, it's really cool because it's not only like digital in your game. You can actually like get it because usually in games it's like you have the sword in the game or the power in the game, but you can't just get it in the real life. Like, but cards is good because like you were saying, cards you can collection them, right? So then you can just take it and then you can, if you want, you can sell it, keep it in your collection, and then you can make a whole new collection of cards. There was Pokemon, now there's cross stages.
exactly the same mechanic and the same concept. And this is why, people understood very quickly, the impact of how, the card can be, something sustainable. With a new game, the second game will be released. It's going to be completely, a new paradigm and a new process
Yeah.
where
Okay.
the value of the card will go even higher because you will need everything,
Yeah.
all the cards from the past and the new card. You have a new collection every 6 months. Every 6 months, you have a new collection coming, and then you have only 1 year, to get a physical collection. After that, you can't do it. It's finished. So you have 6 months, you have a collection, and then it disappears, and you have a new collection, and it disappears, and you have a new collection, it disappears. And
Right.
all
So
the
it's like
look.
so there's like a refresh each time. So if you got all the cards, you can't just wait. You have to like get them in 6 months if you have all the cards.
So in fact, you're gonna be able to use the card whenever you want.
Oh, so like if I only have like 5 cards or whatever card I want to get, I can just get it if I wanted to.
If, for example, you play now, you will have the second collection called Mantras, but you're not gonna be able to have the first collection.
Oh, so it's like it has like in Pokemon you have shield, you have sword.
Exactly.
Oh, so it's like that. You have collections.
One shield, you have like different collections, so it's new collection every 6 months. So
Oh,
new collection.
alright. So you have many collections.
Yeah. So
how many
now
collections do you have?
Now 2.
Oh wow.
We have 2 collections. The third one will be special, and the 4 will be released in June, July. So it's gonna be soon. And the third one will be very special because it's a crossover with the biggest one, with big publisher, with big IP. And this is gonna be the first time where we're gonna have a mix between the Web 2 and the Web 3, with 2 universes will be together.
Wow. Perfect. So even if I just had like a card and I wanted to take it, I could just take it like that, right? And this is like you have to pay to actually get the card, like.
So how it works? When you have your digital card, you have to use $1, so
Okay.
2 CT now, to transform your card from digital
To physical.
NFT. And the same,
to NFT. And then $1 to transform it into physical. Okay.
Very simple. And then you're gonna be able to sell it because they're unique. They're all unique. They all have like a serial number. You can sell it, wherever you want, on the marketplace, on Magical Market, on eBay, on all, the
Perfect. So everything. Okay. So as we know that you have been working with NFTs and you've really been interested into the whole trading side of things, are you in the metaverse?
Good question.
Do you work in the metaverse? Okay.
Good question. We work on a concept called the reverse.
The what?
Reverse.
The reverse.
Reverse is a little bit opposite to metaverse because what I believe is if you created something on the virtual, you need to create that value, into the physical world. So this is exactly what we made, and I will explain you the concept. In Proceed, on the second game, you will be owner of lands. This lands,
Or like sandbox. You'll control like a clan, land.
Yes. The difference is you're gonna be owner of a real lands in the US. So we are owner today, of a very large amount of lands. And then those lands, because like you can say, okay, it's just a corn land or like just a land like random. This land will create and generate energy because our goal, is we creating energy, with our concept of the reverse, and we're selling this energy to Bitcoin miner, to AI, to data center, and then it generates revenue. So when you are owner of land,
I'm very sorry because I don't get it. So when you're saying this, do you mean in the game there's like this thing, or are we like actually doing it real life? Because this is really real life. So it's like in the game you can control a plot of land in the world, like in USA instead.
Yes.
And I'm guessing that this plot of land is already like it's bought, right?
So it's you will have a part. So it's gonna be like it depends, the actual land that you are owner. You have 5 different kind of land. You have like some land with some surfaces and some bigger and some much higher, and those land will generate revenue, generate energy. You will have like a revenue coming, a yield yearly yield. Very interesting.
Oh, so
Because
you're getting money, like actual money in.
exactly, you will get back, your money. You can go until
Oh
up to
wow!
20.
So actually, the game Across the Ages. It's not only like some simple game. It's first a story, which has 7 chapters, and then it's at the same time like a mix of sandbox of where like you can control your own plot of land, and then I'm guessing you put some money onto like no.
Nothing. You just, when you are owner of your land, you
Yeah.
just buy your land one time, and then you will have like a revenue. A recurrent revenue will come every month. But I will go deeper. You can have even more if you protect your land. You can have even more than that because the land will be open, and you will have people, from outside the community. They will be able, to store, your token that you generate every day. So you will have to protect your land with your card from the TCG. It's exactly the same card. So the concept is, if you have some assets, you can protect your land, like the guardian will protect your land. If not, the people will come and they will store you like an amount every day. So you can protect your land and have even more. So the concept is you
Wow.
give
So
like
it's continue, please.
you give to the people the way to buy land, and you give the opportunity for the other to have the pillage. That means that to store the people with all like the possibility to do it, and you will have like a Fortnite game, when you play, with your guardian and like with your character, and the gameplay is pretty fun. So this
Wow.
kind of
So it's
come,
like
yeah,
you control your own plot of land like in the real world,
yes,
and then you can build stuff inside. That's what you're saying. And
yes.
then you can like fight. Then people can like come and try to take your land.
Yeah, they
And
can they can they can stall you.
and then
You will
okay,
have like an amount that no one can stall you. So like, let's say that it's gonna be like 10-15% that you're gonna keep for you. This is gonna be your yield, whatever what's gonna happen, and then you will have another yield when you are
right. Then you
owner.
can make like battles in the game where they can
Exactly.
conquer some of the land and then get percent. Okay, so um, is there? Do you know like which land can you like control? Like what kind of land in the real world can we control? What kind of land is a real
So
world
how
land?
it works, when you will be owner of the land, you will have 5 different land to 5 different amount, and you can choose from the beginning what kind of land you're gonna be owner. If, for example, you say, okay, my limit, I don't have a lot, you can buy the first spot, for $200. The second spot is 1K, and like going up and up. It depends, what do you want to invest, and then you will have you yield going back, every month to allow you, to get back your money as soon as possible. And
Wow.
then you're gonna
And
invest the time.
so about that, you're paying money to get the land, and the way that you get the money back, if I'm understanding right, is if you produce something.
We produce directly energy, so you will get it
Okay, so
100%. You need to do.
what do you mean? So
It's
like
like
you can buy the land and then you produce the energy, and then so it's basically like in a game. If you think about it, in most of the games you have you have the king of the hill, right? Or you have like
Mhm.
some spots where you can like take them, and this is like in real life, but in the game at the same time. So it's basically like in the game you can get like the hill, the spots, the land, and then you can buy it. Because first you need to fight through it. I'm assuming in the game, right? And then you need to pay some amount, and then it's like you have different grades, and on each kind of grade of amount that you have to pay, it gives you a certain percentage of money back, and it gives you some money back.
Completely,
So it's
completely.
basically some wow. So it's basically super educational, and because first you're literally having literature in a fun way, and then at the same time you're having investment and finance courses. So wow, that's pretty amazing. Okay, so it's like even more educational than Minecraft. Wow. Okay, it's really interesting. I feel like
It's a new way,
it's
to play. It's a new
yeah,
way to
the reverse. You said the reverse.
the reverse, yeah.
Wow. So it's like it's gonna be a whole new thing. People now focus some people focus on AI now, or some people focus on the metaverse, but you just made a whole new era, a whole new thing, the reverse. Wow.
Why we doing that? Why we doing that? Because the difference between the metaverse and the reverse is, on the reverse you will have everything. you will have the NFT of the land, but you will have also the physical portion of the land, and you will have the energy dedicated, to this land. That means that when you have a land, usually it can bring you no additional value. You have a land on the metaverse, how you can create value with that? It's not possible. So the way for us, it was to completely, change the circle and like start from the beginning to say, okay, we need a real land. We need to generate energy because energy is a thing that everyone needs. And we know we have a customer to buy this energy for years and years. We tried pilots. We do that for more than 3 years now. And then like we seen that everything was working.
Wow, so it's basically trying to make something happen, like making more energy, and
Yeah.
at the same time you're helping people who want more energy and like cleaner energy, and at the same time you're helping the players like actually get money from it. And
Exactly.
if I may ask, how do you like keep this like how do you keep this like ongoing? Because as we know, they have to pay the plot of land and then you give money each time. But like how do you keep it equal? Because it's like
We
when
have
you
a good question. It's a good question because the real question is how you can be sure that you will have always this money coming. We have contracts signed, with partners for a minimum of 5 years and some like even more that you can be sure that people will be able to pay because they need this energy and you're gonna be able to give it back every time, for the owner of land. So when you start and you're gonna be owner of a plot of land, you can be sure that you will have this money coming. And when you know that, in an average, in less than 5 years, you will get back everything, all your investment go back without all the advantage that you can have. It's pretty interesting to say, okay,
wow,
just
and
saying you can have back that.
and like you were saying, it's all plot in the USA, and if you wanted to, you could just go there and you can just
And take a seat and say, okay, this is my home and I live here.
oh, so wow, okay, it's basically a game that helps you. Okay, wow, okay. And my last question for you is like you were mentioning, I think it's really extraordinary how the game works. But last thing on more of the sides of like, because I've heard that this is actually pretty serious for right now and very successful, and I was just wondering if you could say some people who want to invest into your company, right?
Usually, I always start with the same thing, don't invest. It's free. So just take the time, download the game, read the book, like
No,
just discover it.
sorry, I was meaning like people invest into Cross the Ages.
Completely. And this is exactly, my answer. And everyone was saying, what? Why do you say that to everyone? Because the most important thing is your project, and take time, to discover the universe and not coming just to pump and dump and like to try to see who is behind. We are today more than 80 people working here in south of France. We have 5 people, in Dubai and 5 people in Japan. We expand our company. You have more than 200 people working. You have like all the designer from Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, League of Legends.
Wow.
All those people are working across the ages, and we have like a huge team. We're developing, anime. We're developing, fanzine. We're developing, comics. We're developing so many things behind. The first most important thing is to develop and like to discover the universe, and then when you're gonna be happy and like you're gonna convince by that, you can go like on social media, on Discord.
Wow.
You can go to websites. You can
Okay.
go on our YouTube to see like the special video we made called Backstage, so Roadshow. You're gonna see like everything's gonna happen, behind the scene, and then when you're gonna be completely and fully convinced, then you're gonna choose how you're gonna be able to invest, and there are multiple ways. But first of all,
Perfect. Wow, it really sounds amazing for a game, and wow, I'm really blown away. I didn't know that a game could get like so deep and so interactive. But yeah, I don't know what to say, but it's such an amazing idea of doing what you're doing. I really think that it's the next thing. It's the next big thing. There's Fortnite, but I think that this is gonna become top 1 game. So yeah, perfect. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I think I'm gonna make a video on trying to actually play this game, and I'm so excited. So yeah, I hope that you guys have enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you next one. Bye.
Thank you.